What if I told you that the key to financial freedom might be sitting in your wallet right now? No, I'm not talking about cash. I'm talking about a little piece of plastic. Your credit card. Sounds crazy, right? But hear me out. Today we're going to explore how savvy entrepreneurs and investors use credit cards as a tool for wealth building. It's not magic, and it's definitely not without risks. But with the right knowledge and strategy, you can leverage your credit to create opportunities you never thought possible. Sound interesting? Good. Let's dive into the world of credit card wealth building. Before we jump into strategies, let's cover some key financial terms. Understanding these is crucial for your financial success. First up is income. This is money coming in, typically from your job, investments, or business ventures. It's the fuel for your financial engine. Next, we have expenses. These are costs you incur in daily life or business. They can be fixed, like rent, or variable, like groceries. Managing expenses is crucial for financial health. Assets are things you own that have value. We're particularly interested in appreciating assets, things that increase in value over time. This could be real estate, stocks, or a growing business. Liabilities are what you owe. This includes loans, credit card balances, and other debts. Not all liabilities are bad, but you just gotta manage them carefully. Cash flow is the movement of money in and out of your accounts. Positive cash flow means more money coming in than going out. This is what we're aiming for. Finally, net worth is the difference between your assets and liabilities. It's a snapshot of your financial health at a given time. Why are these terms important? When using credit cards to make money, you're going to be juggling all of these elements. You'll be using liabilities, credit card debt, to acquire assets, generate income, and create positive cash flow. Understanding these terms helps you see the big picture and make informed decisions. Remember, wealthy people focus on increasing their assets and income while managing liabilities and expenses. This creates positive cash flow and grows their net worth over time. Keep these concepts in mind as we move forward. Now let's talk about a pretty crucial concept: good debt versus bad debt. Not all debt is created equal, and understanding this difference is key to using credit cards effectively to make money. Good debt is debt that has the potential to increase your net worth or generate income. It's an investment in your future. Examples such as business loans used to start or expand a profitable business, mortgages for rental properties that generate income, student loans that increase your earning potential, credit card debt used to purchase inventory that you can sell for a profit. The key part of good debt is that it helps you generate more money than the cost of the debt itself. Bad debt, on the other hand, is debt for consumables or depreciating assets. It doesn't generate income or increase your net worth. Examples of bad debt might be credit card debt from buying clothes or dining out, personal loans for vacations, car loans, unless the vehicle is essential for your income-generating activities. Credit cards can be either good debt or bad debt, depending on how you use them. If you're using them to fund a profitable business venture, that's potentially pretty good debt. If you're using them for everyday expenses that you can't pay off each month, that's not such a good idea. The intention behind the debt is crucial. Before you take on any debt, ask yourself, is this going to help me generate more income or increase my net worth in the long run? If the answer is yes, it might be good debt. If not, it's probably best to avoid it. Now that we understand good debt and bad debt, let's explore a powerful concept: leveraging debt. This is how many wealthy people build their fortunes. Leveraging debt means using borrowed money to make investments that have the potential to generate returns higher than the cost of borrowing. It's a tool that can accelerate wealth building when used responsibly. Here's a simple example just to get the point across. Let's say you have $20,000 in savings. You could use that to buy $20,000 worth of stocks. But what if, instead, you used that $20,000 as a 20% down payment on a $100,000 rental property? You've now controlled a $100,000 asset with only $20,000 of your own money. If the property appreciates by 5% a year, that's a $5,000 gain on your $20,000 investment, a 25% return. See what I mean now? Banks and wealthy individuals understand this principle pretty well. They use other people's money to make investments and generate returns. This is essentially how banks operate. They take deposits from customers and lend that money out at higher interest rates. Another reason the wealthy leverage debt is that they understand that money is cheap due to inflation. If you borrow at 4%, but inflation is 2%, your effective interest rate is only 2%. If your investments are generating returns higher than this, you're coming out ahead. However, it's crucial to understand that leveraging debt also increases risk. If your investments don't perform as expected, you're still on the hook for the debt. This is why it's crucial to thoroughly understand your investments and have a solid plan before leveraging debt. Remember, saving alone isn't enough to build significant wealth. Strategic use of leverage can help you accelerate your wealth-building journey. Now let's address the elephant in the room: the risks associated with using credit cards to make money. The biggest risk is over-leveraging. This basically means taking on more debt than you can handle. Credit cards often come with high interest rates, sometimes 20% or more. If you can't pay off your balance in full each month, these interest charges can quickly eat into any profits you might make. Let me share a personal example. When I first started a small e-commerce business years ago, I got excited and spent $1,000 on a credit card buying inventory. I was sure I'd sell it all, quickly, and make a hefty profit, but I underestimated how long it would take me to sell everything. By the time I sold most of the inventory, the interest charges had eaten up a significant portion of my profits. I learned a valuable lesson about the importance of careful planning and risk management. Another risk is damaging your credit score. If you max out your credit cards or miss payments, your credit score can take a hit. This can make it harder to get loans or credit in the future, potentially limiting your ability to take advantage of these kinds of opportunities. There's also the risk of confusing business and personal expenses. It's really important to keep these separate to avoid personal financial trouble if your business venture doesn't work out as planned. Remember, credit card companies make money from people who don't pay their balances in full. They're betting that you'll slip up. To use credit cards to make money, you need to be more disciplined than the average consumer. So, how do we mitigate these risks? The key is to focus on cash flow. Cash flow is the lifeblood of any business or investment strategy. It's not just about how much money you're making, but when that money comes in and goes out. Positive cash flow means you have more money coming in than going out at any given time. When using credit cards to make money, your goal should be to generate positive cash flow before your credit card bill is due. This way, you can pay off your balance in full and avoid interest charges. Let's break this down with an example. Say you use your credit card to buy $1,000 worth of inventory for your online store. Your card's billing cycle ends on the 1st of each month, and you have 21 days after that to pay your bill. So if you buy the inventory on the 2nd of the month, you effectively have 51 days to sell it and get paid before your credit card bill is due. To make this work, you need to 1. Understand your credit card's billing cycle and due dates. 2. Have a clear plan for how you'll turn your credit card purchases into cash quickly. 3. Start small and scale up gradually as you prove your concept. 4. Always have a cash buffer in case things don't go as planned. It's also crucial to have multiple streams of income. This provides a safety net if one venture doesn't perform as expected. You could combine an e-commerce business with freelancing or digital content creation, for example. Remember the goal? Always be cash flow positive by the time your credit card bill is due. This allows you to benefit from the card's grace period and essentially use the credit card company's money for free. Now that we understand the importance of cash flow, let's dive into specific strategies for using credit cards to make money. First, look for credit cards with 0% APR introductory offers. These offers, typically lasting 12 to 18 months, allow you to borrow money interest-free. This can be a powerful tool if used wisely. Start small. Don't max out your credit card right away. Begin with a small amount, maybe $500 or $1,000, and prove your concept before scaling up. This minimizes your risk and allows you to learn and adjust your strategy. Here's a step-by-step example of how you might scale up. 1. Use $1,000 of your credit card to buy inventory for your e-commerce business. 2. Sell the inventory for $1,500 within your card's grace period. 3. Pay off the $1,000 credit card bill and reinvest the $500 profit. Next month, you might buy $1,500 of inventory, sell for $2,250, and so on. As you prove your concept and generate consistent cash flow, you can gradually increase your credit card spending. Now let's discuss potential business ventures. E-commerce is a popular option. You could start an Amazon FBA business or a drop shipping store. The key is to find products with good profit margins and quick turnover. Digital content creation is another possibility. Use your credit card to invest in equipment or software, then create content that generates ad revenue or attracts sponsorships. Service-based businesses often have pretty low startup costs. You could use your credit card to pay for advertising or necessary equipment, then offer services like consulting, freelance writing, or graphic design. When choosing a venture, consider your skills and interests. You're more likely to succeed if you're passionate about what you're doing. Also, don't neglect market research. Before investing money, make sure there's demand for what you're offering. Look at competitors, identify your unique selling proposition, and understand your target market. Remember, the goal is to generate positive cash flow before your credit card bill is due. Always have a clear plan for how you'll turn your credit card purchases into cash quickly. And finally, always keep your personal and business expenses separate. Consider getting a business credit card to make this easier and to build your business credit profile. Now let's talk about something that might seem counterintuitive when discussing financial success: the importance of failing. Failure is an inevitable part of any business venture, especially when you're starting out. The key is to fail fast, fail cheap, and most importantly, learn from your failures. I mean, you don't have to look any further than my own personal story to see how important failure is. Remember my e-commerce story? At first, I was devastated, but then I started analyzing what went wrong. I realized I hadn't done enough market research. I hadn't properly understood my target audience. This failure taught me valuable lessons about product selection and market analysis that have served me well ever since. Here's how you can learn from failures. 1. Analyze what went wrong objectively. Don't blame external factors. 2. Identify the lessons learned. What would you do differently next time? 3. Implement these lessons in your next venture. 4. Share your experiences with others. You might help someone avoid the same mistakes. Remember, every successful entrepreneur has a history of failures behind them. The difference is, they didn't let these failures stop them. They used them as stepping stones for success. When using credit cards to fund your ventures, failing fast and cheap is crucial. Start small. Test your ideas, and be prepared to pivot if things aren't working. This approach minimizes your financial risk while maximizing your learning opportunities. To truly succeed in using credit cards to make money, you need to start thinking like wealthy people do. This involves a significant mindset shift for most of us. Wealthy people don't just work for money, they make their money work for them. They understand the power of leverage and aren't afraid to use other people's money to increase their wealth. For example, banks use a concept called fractional reserve banking. When you deposit $100, they don't just hold on to it. They might keep $10 in reserve and lend out the other $90. They're using your money to make more money. Wealthy individuals apply similar principles. They might use a bank loan to buy a rental property, using the rent to pay off the loan while the property appreciates. They're using the bank's money to acquire an appreciating asset. How can regular people apply these principles? Here are a few examples. 1. Peer-to-peer lending. Use your credit card's 0% APR offer to fund loans on platforms like Prosper or Lending Club, earning interest on the spread. 2. Real estate investing. Use credit card balance transfer checks for a down payment on a rental property, but be aware of the risks and do your due diligence. 3. Stock market investing. Use a 0% APR credit card to invest in dividend-paying stocks, aiming to earn more in dividends than the interest rate after the promotional period. The key mindset shift is to stop thinking of credit cards as a way to buy things you can't afford. Instead, view them as a tool to acquire assets or fund ventures that increase your wealth. Remember, wealthy people focus on acquiring assets and increasing their cash flow. They're not afraid of debt, but they use it strategically to amplify their returns. This mindset shift takes time and practice. Start small, learn continuously, and gradually you'll start to see opportunities where others see obstacles. As we wrap up, let's cover some practical tips and precautions for using credit cards to make money. 1. Have a solid business plan. Don't just wing it. Know your market, your costs, and your expected returns. 2. Always have an exit strategy. What will you do if things don't go as planned? How will you pay off the credit card if your venture doesn't succeed? 3. Calculate and manage your risk. Never invest more than you can afford to lose. 4. Diversify your income streams. Don't rely on just one venture or strategy. And 5. Maintain a good credit score. This gives you access to better credit cards and terms. Pay your bills on time and keep your credit utilization low. Remember, using credit cards to make money requires discipline, planning, and a solid understanding of financial principles. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme, but rather a tool that, when used responsibly, can help accelerate your wealth-building journey. Start small, learn continuously, and always prioritize financial responsibility over quick profits. With patience and perseverance, you can turn your credit cards into powerful wealth-building tools. Want to know how to remove hard inquiries from a credit report? Check that out here.